They want me to roll 20% into preferred shares, but they won't share the details until later. Is this normal? Nope. It's not normal. You're not rolling equity here, you're rolling the dice. You need to clearly understand from the upfront, am I rolling into common or preferred? Is there a liquidation preference? Are there any ratchets that kick in? What's the control structure look like post-close? These questions should be very clear, and the private equity firm should be very willing, in fact, excited to talk to you about it. And if they're not, they're either hiding something or they're amateurs. Never enter into an LOI unless you understand those things, because that's not a partnership, that's blind trust. Next question. We agreed on an LOI and now they want an additional 90 days of exclusivity and are dragging their feet. What do I do? Now, it's hard to answer this question without understanding the full context of the transaction, but it goes to show you how important a letter of intent is. The letter of intent lays out the exclusivity terms. Now, it could be that the buyer is diligently working towards getting a transaction done and they just need more time. They might need some approvals from a regulatory agency, or there's a variety of things which would require the extension of exclusivity. And I see it happen multiple times per year. It's typically not 90 days. It's typically, hey, we need another week or 2 weeks, or we need 30 days because something's not going right with HSR review or Hart-Scott-Rodino antitrust review. There's a variety of reasons why a buyer would want exclusivity to be extended. Maybe dealing with a funding source, right? A lender. There's a lot of reasons. When you add dragging their feet in there, I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but some ways to handle that is you can negotiate mutual walkaways, right? So if you're not happy, if they're dragging their feet and you're in exclusivity, there might be a walkaway provision in there. You can tie exclusivity to specific milestones. So it puts them in a position where they're not dragging their feet. You would have drop dead dates, like you need to do X, Y, and Z by such and such a date. If you don't do that, we're free to walk away, right? Exclusivity is terminated. The rule that I follow personally is don't give exclusivity to buyers who haven't earned it. They need to earn it on the upfront with their offer, right? That's they've earned the opportunity to get the exclusivity. They've built trust, they've done all the right things, they put the right offer on the table, we've vetted them, they've earned that exclusivity. Now, as the diligence period progresses, or as the exclusivity period progresses, and there's a need for an extension, the buyer has to have earned that extension. They have to be moving in good faith and being able to demonstrate to you that they're moving in good faith in order for you to extend exclusivity. That puts you in a position where they're not dragging their feet. So again, buyers get exclusivity, but only give exclusivity to buyers who've earned it. Next question. Ooh, this is always an interesting one. Another buyer has surfaced after I signed an LOI. Can I talk to them? No. You can talk to them if your LOI does not have a no-shop provision, although almost all LOIs will have a no-shop provision. There's an exclusivity period. So in a letter of intent, a buyer is going to spend a lot of money on due diligence, hiring advisors, dealing with lenders, flying around. There's a lot of costs in terms of time and resources and money that go into doing a deal. So any buyer who's really going to dig in is going to want exclusivity. And by definition, exclusivity means you cannot talk to other buyers. In fact, it's likely prohibited directly and explicitly in the LOI. And if you start talking to other buyers during an exclusivity period, it can really open you up for liability. I mean, like, for example, if I'm a buyer and I just spent $500,000 on diligencing your business, I've got my E&Y accounting guys, I've got my lawyers, I've got environmental consultants, I've got all these people, I'm spending money left and right, and I'm driving towards a transaction. And another buyer comes out of the blue. You get an email or a phone call and you start wheeling and dealing with another buyer who says, I'm going to pay you a little bit more money than the money you have on the table. Now that might be enticing to you, but now I have sustained losses. You have agreed with me to be exclusive. You violated that. I have sustained losses. Now you, the seller, potentially are liable for that depending upon the jurisdiction in which you reside. So keep in mind, the LOI is a power document. It is not a placeholder. And if you want the ability to shop a deal post signing an LOI, you need to really make sure that there is a go shop provision in there, or at least the absence of a no shop provision. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate the comments on YouTube. I appreciate the messages that I get on LinkedIn. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a question below. I'm Paul Giannamore, and I'll see you on the next one.